beakers, test tubes, graduated cylinders. What are the uses of these laboratory apparatuses? Hello, SciPals! I am Sir Senen Salubayba, your science teacher for today. In this episode of Agham Alam Hub, we are going to discuss some common laboratory apparatuses and their uses. We will also identify some important laboratory safety precautions in conducting experiments. Furthermore, we are going to appreciate the importance of understanding laboratory safety precautions in conducting experiments. In the next few minutes, we will explore science for another moment. Conducting experiments in chemistry cannot be possible without the use of specific apparatuses, be it in a school, in industry, or field site. For a high school laboratory, we seldom find sophisticated equipment, unlike in specialized laboratory facilities. However, common apparatuses are available in the science learning resource centers of schools. These may include test tubes, beaker, tongs, funnel, Erlenmeyer flask, thermometer, evaporating dish, and triple beam balance, to name a few. Let us now discuss how each of these common laboratory apparatuses are used in conducting experiments. Test tube holders are for holding test tubes when tubes should not be touched. Test tubes are used for holding small samples or for containing scale reactions. Beaker is useful as a reaction container or to hold liquid or solid samples. They are also used to catch liquids from titrations and filtrates from filtering operations. Glass funnels are used for funneling liquids from one container to another or for filtering when equipped with filter paper. Erlenmeyer flasks are useful to contain reactions or to hold liquid samples. They are also useful to catch filtrates. Watch glasses are used for holding small samples. They are also used for covering beakers or evaporating dishes. Evaporating dish is used for evaporation of solutions and supernatant solutions to produce a concentrated solution or a solid precipitate. Volumetric flasks are used to measure precise volumes of liquid or to make precise dilutions. Graduated cylinders are used for measurement of an amount of liquid. The volume of liquid can be estimated to the nearest 0.1 ml with practice. Triple beam balance is used to measure mass very precisely with a reading error of positive or negative 0.05 grams. Digital weighing scale is a measuring device that reads and displays weight of an object accurately. Thermometer is a device used for measuring temperature. Ring stand with rings are used for holding pieces of glassware in place. Clay triangles are placed on a ring attached to a ring stand as a support for a funnel, crucible, or evaporating dish. Wire gauze supports beakers to be heated by alcohol lamps. Alcohol lamp is used for heating, sterilization, and combustion. Tongs are similar in function to forceps, but are useful for larger items. Droppers are used for adding liquids drop by drop. Wash bottles are used for dispensing small quantities of distilled water. Laboratories are bound by rules to ensure everyone's safety. There are precautions that we must observe and safety measures to follow in order to get positive results in our experiments and to prevent accidents from happening. Before doing any scientific experiment, ensure that you are dressed appropriately whenever you are near chemicals. Hair tied back for long hair. No loose or flammable clothing, and you are wearing closed shoes, gloves, and safety goggles. Make sure that you know where the fire extinguishers are in your laboratory. You are responsible for your own safety as well as the safety of others in the laboratory. Never perform experiments alone. During an experiment, do not eat or drink in the laboratory. Do not use laboratory glassware to eat or drink from. Always behave responsibly in the laboratory. Do not run around or play practical jokes. Always check the safety data of any chemicals you are going to use. Never smell, taste, or touch chemicals unless instructed to do so. Do not take chemicals from the laboratory. Only perform the experiments that your teacher instructs you to do. Follow the given instructions exactly. Examine glassware before using. Do not use cheap or cracked test tubes or beakers. Do not use your thumb as a stopper. Use a cork instead. Swirl gently to mix solutions. Label all test tubes and other containers with contents. Be alert and careful when handling chemicals and hot glassware. Never heat thick glassware as it will break just like measuring cylinders. When heating substances in a test tube, do not overheat the solution. Remember to face the mouth of the test tube away from you and members of your group when heating a test tube. Care needs to be taken when pouring liquids or powders from one container to another or when using strong acids and bases. If you spill on your soap, wash the area with lots of water and seek medical attention. Never add water to acid. Always add the acid to water. When spillages occur, you need to call the teacher immediately to assist in cleaning up the spillage. When stirring, make sure that the stirring rod does not touch the bottom or the sides of the glass container. When you are smelling chemicals, place the container on a laboratory bench and use your hand to gently waft or fan the vapors towards you. After conducting an experiment, always ask your teacher on how to dispose of waste. Do not pour reagents and chemicals down the sink. Dispose of this only in designated containers. Unused chemicals should never be put back in the original bottle. They must be disposed of as per the guidelines given by the lab assistant or your science teacher. Make sure to clean your area as well as the equipment and apparatuses you use after the experiment. The success of an experiment does not depend solely on the use of apparatuses and equipment, but also on the techniques in handling them and understanding the necessary precautions. In this episode of Agham Alam Hub, we discussed the different common laboratory apparatuses and their uses and some important laboratory safety precautions in conducting experiments. Test tube, beaker, and Erlenmeyer flask are used to hold samples and liquids, while volumetric flask and graduated cylinder are used to measure volumes of liquid. Other glasswares include glass panels which are used in transferring or filtering liquids, watch glass to hold small samples or covering other glasswares, and evaporating dish for evaporation of solutions. Test tube holders and tongs are used to hold test tube and other items respectively. To add liquids drop by drop, droppers are used, while to dispense small quantities of distilled water, we can use wash bottles. To measure mass or weight, triple beam balance or digital weighing scale are used, while for measuring temperature, we can use thermometer. For heating, sterilization, and combustion, we can use alcohol lamp. Clay triangle and wire gauze can be used to support alcohol lamp, while heating along with ring stand with rings to hold pieces of glassware in place. To get positive results in our experiments and to prevent accidents from happening, there are precautions that must be observed before, during, and after an experiment. Finally, the success of an experiment does not depend solely on the use of apparatuses and equipment, but also on the techniques in handling them and understanding the necessary precautions. That's all for today, SciPals. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. See you again next week for another moment. Only here in Agham Alam Hub, Palajan's SciTech Portal. Bye!